Lynn again. This is Lynn Logic. Welcome to this week's episode, episode 47, How My First Christmas Alone Turned into an Episode of Cops. Quick recap, I am the widow of a cross-dressing alcoholic and a survivor of a blood clot in my brain caused by birth control pills that resulted in a hysterectomy. I'm the daughter of a man who spent 23 years in prison. I am well versed in trauma. Those are just the big three. It may seem that I am a personification of Murphy's Law, but I do love to laugh. I have a 25-year work history in accounting and operations in real estate, car dealerships, and hotels. I also have a BA in psychology. I love patterns, numbers, and categories. Always have. Lynn Logic is the result of that love. Go ahead, like and subscribe. It costs nothing. Unlike coffee, weed, or bad decisions, and you know we are not giving those up. So stay and watch so I can get my watch hours up. Check out the combined videos or podcast of my narrative and the worst day ever for a crash course. Lynn Logic is now a podcast. You can listen to me while other people try to talk to you. My podcast is available on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and Pandora. And also follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, apparently I've got a lot of alsos. Check me out on Disctopia. I totally have a bunch of merch that I made there. And so with each episode, there will be episode-specific shit to buy. My twisted sense of humor does come with images and pictures. Enjoy. Let's get started. I want to tell you the story of the first Christmas after my husband died. First, and I cannot emphasize this enough, I'm a very lonely and broken woman. Healing has been and will continue to be a process. Now on the other side, and maybe an overshare, but come on, is that really surprising with me? My late husband and I hadn't touched in a very long time, and our bedroom life became singularly focused on his freedom and exploration. My best friend said to me during my marriage that my husband had a succubus and starved her. And so yes, I was starving and lonely and broken and hadn't felt pleasure in so many years. These aren't excuses, I'm just giving you the setup. Now I want to explain something else, and I don't know if it is common with other women, but there's a pattern I've seen in white men that I have dated or been with. My late husband was the worst at this. I have always been an open-minded woman about attraction. I see beauty in all types of people. White men in my past were always fine that I had been with women. They saw that as sexy or an opportunity. That wasn't about you, and it doesn't mean anything to you. When you think that because a woman has been with another woman, that means you have the opportunity for a threesome, where does that logic come in? I've also been with other men. You're going to give me a threesome there too? I mean, that was fun, not going to lie. That was a great birthday. Here is the bit that I hate the most. The pattern I have seen is that the men are fine with me being with women, but the moment they find out I've been with black men, well, as my late husband used to shame me for it that one time for 4 years, they don't like it. That's the pattern I see. And really, it is just an inferiority complex in them for their inadequacies. You know what some white men fear the most? The black man's penis. Don't believe me? Have you ever seen the Washington Monument? Big white dick. The biggest dick in the land. Have you ever heard the term snow bunny? Well, it's a term for a white woman who dates black men. This made me think of funny images, and with the help of modern technology, I can now make them. So take a look on Dystopia for my new merch for Snow Bunny. Yeah, it's so inappropriate. Back to it. I was starving and lonely and broken and had been shamed for years about a type of man I had been with, a type of man I had preferred. And that was the type I wanted and still want. I went a little, how do I put this? Slutty. I went slutty. Nothing wrong with it until it went wrong. I was on the dating apps and I have a type and they have algorithms. I love those. Don't know if you know that. Anyway, I met King, or that is what he called himself. Also, isn't that what they all call themselves? But this King looked like DMX and was bad. So lonely and broken, me believed his lies and was very understanding to someone struggling. I myself was also struggling. He had told me that he had just gotten out from doing 3 years. Men who have done time, I like them. I feel connected because I was also in a prison of sorts. But my guard just told me that he loved me all the time, and I believed him. Also, read between the lines. Just got out of prison. It's been years. Yeah, I get that too. And that was a fun weekend. There is a fine line between being understanding and just being stupid. And I was stupid. The lies started falling apart. Like he hadn't just gotten out from a few years. He had just gotten out from 25 years. And for rape. See? Like I said, stupid. And what did I do? I brought him home to meet my mom. I let him use lose my late husband's truck. That's a whole different story about how I got yelled at by an alcoholic tow truck driver for being the widow of an alcoholic. That was me trying to get the truck back. That broke me even more. I was alone and abandoned, and I just kept seeking out love, even if it was brief. I know I shouldn't joke about this, but hindsight is for humor. And I just want to point out that I was the first woman a man had been with in 25 years, and that was a fun weekend. I almost felt satisfied. Almost. So let's fast forward a bit to Christmas. He was with his family on Christmas, understandably. See? Still understanding. And I was, well, alone. A bit of a backstory on me. I've always loved Christmas. I was the Jew that loved Christmas. My family, we always volunteer around that time, and we are really big on it. In fact, charity work in my family is instilled in us in a very early age. I was a candy striper until I got lost in a morgue, a big sister. My little brother got adopted, and the countless other charity work I've done. I love it. It's what made me want to work the job that fired me 3 weeks after my husband died. They were Giving Tree Realty, and they believed in charity. I used to help organize these Toys for Our Troop events, and I fucking loved it. I would pour my blood, sweat, and tears into those events, and I only helped for 4 years. Also, I loved Christmas. So in the beginning, Drew used to make it special. The first Christmas, he got me black diamond earrings. The second Christmas was a black diamond necklace. And our third Christmas, after all the presents were opened, I love giving, Drew said I should check my stocking. So I waded through the sea of discarded wrapping paper and pulled out a gold box from the bottom of my stocking. Drew had snuck it in there when I had left the room. He got down on one knee and asked me to marry him and promised me a better life. Shit you not. I thought of Suki, played by the amazing Melissa McCarthy in Gilmore Girls, and when he asked me to marry him, I directly quoted her from that show and asked, "Are you pregnant?" He was so nervous and shaking, I needed to lighten it up. I, of course, said yes. After Drew died in July of 2023, life just kept and is still so fucking hard. I made it through our anniversary, only breaking down a little. Thanksgiving, Drew's favorite holiday, that one is and was still difficult. But Christmas, I want to love Christmas again. But fucking hell. Back to the story side of this. King is with his family on Christmas, and the day after Christmas, that is December 26, 2023, I get a random text from a woman claiming to be King's wife. I, a new widow, well, that shattered me. I had a belief in marriage, and this woman was telling me about how she waited all this time for him, and how she loved him so much. I thought I had broken this woman's world, and I was a woman whose world had just been shattered. Well, I met her, and she came to my house, and we stayed up all night talking and crying. Because I was newly broken, I had a lot of people checking on me and a lot of people I could reach out to. And I reached out to one of my sisters from another mister that morning, told her everything, and she came rushing over. Another broken woman like me, and a strong, badass woman that is truly unfucking believable. Okay, I'm going to try and get through this bit quickly. It is a lot. The plan was simple. I would get King to the house by telling him I needed the truck, and then we would block him in the driveway and his wife would come out. So I got him there, and we blocked him in the driveway, and his wife comes out. Now this part I did not see as it was on the other side of the truck, and what I hear next is, "He just hit me." And then sister, whose view was from behind her, said, "He hit her." and I called the cops, and King walked off with his stuff. The cops picked him up walking down the street and brought him back to the house to figure out what the fuck is going on. Now, before the cops got there, his wife said, "I'm going to go plant drugs in that truck." And the cops found drugs in the truck. His shit's starting to fall apart quickly. At this point, I haven't said anything to King, only to the cops, and I am back so far against my front door I just want to go inside. His wife gives her name to the cops, and I'm standing next to her as she does it. It was not the name that she told me. It was a different name. It was a familiar name. It was a name King had spoken about, because it was his aunt. It was. What the fuck is this shit, and what did I do? King was arrested, and his aunt disappeared. And I spent the next week getting King out of jail. Spoke to his PO. I went and spoke to the judge presiding over him and cried to her about how he was set up, and this was all a misunderstanding. Sister even wrote his PO and withdrew her claim on any criminal activity done by him. And in the end, he got out. And then he moved in with another woman. Now, though, I like to Google his name sometimes just to see if there's any new criminal activity. And there was. He's back in jail for breaking and entering and strangulation. The weirdest thing did happen about a week before that happened. I went to the gas station near my home, and there was a man where all the people sit and ask you for money or help before you go into the store. They're usually homeless. And he said, "Hey." I could have sworn it was King, but I never saw his face. I mean, I looked at it, but it was just didn't register to me, sort of like trauma fuzzy, I guess. I don't know, but it felt like King. And then I went to Bojangles, and when I was leaving, there was a man on the other side of the intersection waving, like with both hands at me, and I just waved and drove off. Because here's the truth. If it was him, so what? Now it's Christmas season once again, and this year, well, it's going to be like the year before Drew died when our house went into foreclosure. He had let me know that the money I was giving him, he wasn't using to pay the mortgage, and he wasn't using that money for 14 months. His parents cleaned up that one. I've been told recently that I have to move by the end of the year. No, not told. I've been dried out and used up and am being discarded. And I think about that first attorney meeting with the late husband's parents and how they shared their true opinion of me. I was nothing. And here I am with nothing. And having to start over yet again. Honestly, I'm so fucking tired. That is all I want, is to know that I have a bed to sleep in, food to eat, and health care. That's literally all I want. Not some big, expansive American dream. I just want to not have to fight for the basics in life all the time. I am so fucking tired. I want to not hate Christmas. I used to love it so much. You know what? I don't normally do this. I've always relied on my independence or stubbornness or both. I need help. Whatever you can give. If it's only thoughts and prayers, send them my way. If it's more help, I will take it. All I want to do is help and give, but I have nothing. In fact, I have less than nothing. I have to be too focused on myself and getting the basics that I can't give more. So please help me. I work so hard, and I've sacrificed so much, including a piece of my soul. I am soul tired, but I have so much I want to do. I am tired of always sitting at home. I'm tired of being lonely and bored, and I need help. Please help me. Thank you for anything, because I have nothing. I do have me, and I like her. I like to create and build things. I did make a Help Lynn piece of merch on my Dystopia Lynn Logic page, just for fun. Check it out. Chin up, tits out. Bye. Who's a good boy? Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Are you a good boy? Good boy? Good boy. Oh, you sit like a good boy. Yeah. Are you a good boy? Who's a good boy? Oh, there's a good boy. Boop. It may seem that I'm a persona. Are you done with the biscuit eating? Hey, Jelly, you done with the biscuit? You got it? You want to sit down? Could you? Could you sit down for me? Thank you. You can sit. Okay, but sit on the video. You can go. There you go. Got the combined versions. Oh, fuck. What did I say there? No, that's not versions. What you doing? Why don't you get on the bed? Take a nap? You're wiping your eyes like you need to take a nap. You want to sit in here? What you doing, little weirdo? Can I boop you? Can I boop? Boop! You're such a good booper. Yes, you are. Can I boop again? No? Only one boop? How about boop? Boop! No more boops? Alright. Let's see if I can get you onto the bed. You ready for flying? Oh! Oh! Shit, that wasn't it. Sorry. Sorry. Shit. Oops. There we go. Good? You good? Okay. Sit. Lay down. Got the combined versions. Oh, fuck. What did I say there? No, that's not versions. What you doing? Why don't you get on the bed? Take a nap? You're wiping your eyes like you need to take a nap. You want to sit in here? What you doing, little weirdo? Can I boop you? Can I boop? Boop! You're such a good booper. Yes, you are. Can I boop again? No? Only one boop? How about boop? Boop! No more boops? Alright. Let's see if I can get you onto the bed. You ready for flying? Oh! Oh! Shit, that wasn't it. Sorry. Sorry. Shit. Oops. There we go. Good? You good? Okay. Sit. Lay down. Got the combined versions. Oh, fuck. What did I say there? No, that's not versions. What you doing? Why don't you get on the bed? Take a nap? You're wiping your eyes like you need to take a nap. You want to sit in here? What you doing, little weirdo? Can I boop you? Can I boop? Boop! You're such a good booper. Yes, you are. Can I boop again? No? Only one boop? How about boop? Boop! No more boops? Alright. Let's see if I can get you onto the bed. You ready for flying? Oh! Oh! Shit, that wasn't it. Sorry. Sorry. Shit. Oops. There we go. Good? You good? Okay. Sit. Lay down. And fuck. Here's the pattern that I hate them. Oh, fuck. To someone struggling. What are you doing? Are you just being a jerk? You need to sit down? You want to lay down? How would you just plop a squat? Plop a squat. This boob's bigger. Or this boob's bigger. The weirdest... Titties.